name's Calum. I'm the National Sales Manager of Quiligotti. I've been with Quiligotti now for coming up 8 years. Yeah, I mean, I tend to sort of deal with the sales, also some of the purchasing, the sourcing of certain products. We do manufacture a lot of products from here, but we also bring in products on a client's request for different types of terrazzo. So there's a bit of sort of knowledge and contacts from the sourcing point of view. And then we sort of, I suppose, speak with clients, speak with architects, get the product specified, answer any sort of technical questions that they may have, give installation guidance where necessary, provide documentation, generally a bit of all sorts. And then ultimately it sort of leads to that project getting specified, and then the hard work begins where you've got to then sort of fulfill that order. So it's making sure that things meet deadlines, getting the correct product, correct specification, be it slip resistance, etc. Some people specify different types of terrazzo, and then ultimately just getting it to site at the correct time, as agreed. A bit of all sorts, really. I mean, I've got quite small projects, which are residential projects, 30, 40 square meters. There are some larger projects which are, I suppose, a few thousand square meters, possibly involving stairs, skirting boards, desks. So that type of thing is on the go at the moment. There's one at the moment which we're doing, which is down in London, which is a large project. We've already completed sort of phase one of that project. It's a large floor involving 3 different terrazzo colours to create a pattern. Also involving a lot of precast for stairs going across sort of several floors. The other thing that's in there that we've used is sort of reducing the tiles down in thickness so that they can then go into lifts and lift foyers, because obviously lifts require a certain weight requirement. You don't want to be putting a very heavy tile in there. So yeah, I mean, it's a nice sized project. It's gone smoothly. We're currently sort of working with phase 2 and supplying that sort of product. I mean, what we manufacture here, we basically sort of manufacture terrazzo tiles which are dual layered terrazzo. So you can sort of see some of the dual layered terrazzo is that type of thing where you have a terrazzo surface and a sort of cement and limestone back. These are typically installed on a standard cement bed, although it can be installed on an adhesive bed if that's required, if height is an issue. But we sort of manufacture using a mix of different terrazzo aggregates. So there's different marbles in there, predominantly marbles, different size of those marbles. So the mix really is infinite. You can have so many different combinations. You can put other materials in there, which we do on request. So if there's glass required or granite required, then we can sort of do that. We've even used materials like metals and pottery and that type of thing. Our core business is the supermarkets, is the railway stations, that type of thing. That's been our core business for many, many decades. But we also supply into the education sector quite a lot. So we've done quite a lot of schools, university work, in the medical sector. So we've done various sort of projects within hospitals, airports, mass transit areas. That's a sort of a fairly decent market for ourselves as well as those smaller projects. I mean, sometimes hotels will want a reception area which might be 100 or a few hundred square meters. Residential projects might be quite small, sort of 30, 40, 50 square meters, that type of thing. So a bit of whatever's necessary if it's the right product for the right job. Well, we manufacture, say, in the UK using different aggregates. So you've got a mix of different aggregates, and we also source UK-based aggregates, which we sort of do through the Ethical Stone brand. And that's UK aggregates, UK cements, manufactured in the UK. So it's really sort of cutting down on those air miles from a transport point of view. Really makes a sort of big difference from a sustainability point of view. Yeah, I mean, it's a growing market because people are very much aware of sustainability nowadays. The recycling, there's a lot of architects in particular are looking at trying and have a connection to the old building by recycling materials from that old building, be it old floors or cladding or whatever, having that crushed into aggregates and then turned back into terrazzo. I quite like, we did a project, the Story House Theatre, which was in Chester. So we did the steps and sort of entrance, sort of the external areas going into the entrance for the Story House Theatre. And I really only like it because the Queen walked on the steps. So she was sort of doing the opening ceremony for the Storyhouse Theatre, and she was there. So yeah, quite like it because of that. I mean, they may not know that Quiligotti as a terrazzo manufacturing company has been around for about 75 years. So that's something that sometimes catches people out. I mean, a lot of people have been in the industry for 10, 20, 30 years and they know us really well. But other people, you know, perhaps younger architects in particular, who are less aware of the brand, wouldn't recognise that we've been around for that length of time. It is basically unique. I mean, it's natural product mixed with cements, and ultimately the combination of different sort of patterns and colours, and it's never going to repeat itself because it's a unique product. Every tile is different. So we also do sort of composite engineered stone. We'll deal with sort of natural stone products. So if somebody wants something that's in limestone or marble or granite only, then we can certainly organise that for them. We also deal in porcelains, porcelains and ceramics. So it's mostly porcelains nowadays. So yeah, we can source a lot of different products, and we can fulfil the needs for, you know, vanity tops, different types of reception units, different shaped planters, for example. We've done that sort of stuff in the past as well. In the last sort of 8 years or so, a lot, countless to mention really. Every conversation seems to involve it. Even conversation with my wife nowadays seem to involve terrazzo.